Hello and welcome back to another video, and if you're a regular viewer of the channel you might be wondering what am I doing out in a boat in the middle of the sea and where is the PC build? Well, you might be surprised, the PC build is just behind me here. And the next question you're going to ask is why? Well, my channel originally started as a boating and fishing channel. It then went on to very definitely become a PC building channel. And about 2 years ago, one of my subscribers in the comments challenged me to build a PC on the boat. And I thought actually that's going to be an interesting idea for a video. And I fully much had intended to do this last year, but unfortunately I hurt my knee, so that put my plans off for a year. But it's a lovely sunny day, the sea is pretty calm. I'm about half a mile or so offshore, and I thought, why not, let's give this a go today. So I'll talk you through the parts I'm going to be using today. For the case, I've got the Phanteks P200A. It was my previous second build case until the Torrent Nano came along. For the motherboard, I'm using a mini ITX motherboard from Asus. It's their X570 iGaming. For the CPU, I've got the Ryzen 9 3900X. Keeping our CPU cool, I've got the Cooler Masters Hyper 212 Black. And I know, well, again, some of you are thinking that's not a great pairing. But the big thing for today is keeping it simple and getting a functional PC at the end of the video. It's never going to be a PC that I'm going to be keeping up after a few days. So we don't want RGB, and we definitely don't want an AIO because we're trying to keep this build as simple as possible. Because I'm going to have to go quick today. I've only got a limited amount of battery on this GoPro and I'm not working in the best environment. For RAM, I think this is a 16GB kit from Team Group. It's their Dark Z RAM. I've got a 500GB SATA drive from Kingston. I think it's the KC500 from memory. And for the power supply, it's the TM550M from Corsair. For the graphics card, I've got a card from AMD. It's their 5500 XT. Okay, so that's all the parts. Let's get building. Okay, so we'll make a start on the motherboard. So we can open the clip on the socket up, line the CPU up with the socket, drop it into place, and then close our lever. Next, we'll go ahead and get the RAM installed. So open the slots, find the RAM, which is just here. All right, the biggest challenge of this build is actually going to be getting everything fitted in terms of space. So line the RAM up and push. Same thing on the other side, line it up and push into place. Throw that back there for now. And then I think we'll go with the CPU cooler next. To do that, we're going to have to take the brackets off. So find the screwdriver is the next job. So I've got my trusty Be Quiet screwdriver. I'm definitely been rocked about. It doesn't help with building the PC, but I'm always up for a challenge. And some of you may well be wondering why I'm doing this, but again, it's just I was challenged to do it, so why not? If you can think of any other challenges, keep them coming. No guarantees that I'll do them. So we'll just turn that over. Yep. And I've got this GC Extreme from Gelid. These guys have very kindly sent me a year's supply of this, so you're going to be seeing a little bit more about this on the channel. Okay, we'll pop some thermal paste onto the CPU. That comes out quite nicely. So making sure we're doing it the right way, Cooler Master logo up the right side, line things up with the bracket underneath, and then we'll get things screwed into place. Okay, so that's the cooler on. Next we just need to decide what way we're putting our fan on. The CPU fan header is, let's see, I think it's this one here, yep. So CPU fan header, we'll plug it in. And then we can wrap this around the cooler. There we go. And we'll have the fan just sitting here. And it just about fits in no more with this RAM that's in place. Might be a bit of a tight fit actually. Right, that's in. It's just going to need the other side on to help hold it. So hold that there. That's the other side, clipped into place. There we go. It's a little bit high, that fan, but it's going to have to do. And it's just resting on top of the ram but not putting any unnecessary pressure on it. Now the only other thing I'm noticing is I think we've got 2 fans in the case, but we've only got 1 system fan header. Of course I could plug it into our pump header and reconfigure in the bias, but I didn't notice I had a double splitter cable in this box. So what I think the easiest thing to do is just plug it into the system fan header now. There we go. And then we can plug both our case fans into that. So we'll get this into the case. And the weather's just not quite as nice now. It's definitely, the sun's disappeared a bit, so I just hope it doesn't rain. The weather forecast was about 12% of a chance of rain today, so I thought it was a good day for this. Time will tell. Okay. Where are we? Okay, so that's us into the case. And the screws that we need. Okay, so next we'll get our case cables plugged in, so we just need to get the back panel off. And again, downside of taking this out in the boat, I've obviously scratched it. Just keep that thumb screw in there for later. And then we'll free up the cables at the back. Maybe Mini ITX wasn't the best idea. Oh well, it's what we've gone with. That's our cable bracket. Okay, let's have a look and see what we've got. So we've got our 2 fan cables, so we'll bring our fan splitter cable through to the back. Try and bring them down through here and then get our 2 case fans plugged in. And then what have we got? RGB I'm not going to plug in, I'm just going to use the case to control the RGB rather than the motherboard. So that's just going to leave us these wires here. So we'll start off with the power switch, bring it through the cutout. Power switch is going to be into here. Yep, that's us. Okay, what else have we got? USB 3.0, bring it through the cutout, line it up with the header, and let's see, push into place. There we go. Back the cable to the back. We've got a Type-C connector. Where's it? Does this motherboard have a Type-C? Maybe it doesn't have one. That'd be really bad if there's an X570 board without a front panel Type-C. I just haven't used this board in so long. I don't think there is one, so we'll leave it. We've got HD audio, so we'll bring it through. And this motherboard is really quite annoying in the fact that the HD audio slot, you actually have to add an additional connector in on the motherboard. So I suppose I shouldn't cheat. I'm really tempted not to plug it in, but that would be cheating. So we'll try and get everything plugged in today. So we'll take this panel off from memory. I think this gives me access to the HD audio, and then we have to use an extension cable that's going to be in our motherboard box. Pull this panel off. There we go. And you can see the HD audio cable is going to go into here. So And there we've learnt a very important lesson. Always install your I/O shield. So you can see we've got no I/O shield here. So we're going to have to go back and fix that as well. But I think we'll get the front audio plugged in first of all. Let's see, that's got a wire missing at the top. There we go. Okay, that's it plugged in. Right, so we'll set that to the side. Pop our I/O shield in. Okay, that's the I/O shield in. Yeah, it's that way around there. Okay. And hopefully that doesn't get in the way of the graphics card. We'll hopefully be able to push it over to the side when the graphics card comes in. Okay, front panel connectors. I think that's everything plugged in. Our Type-C is not plugged in and our RGB is not plugged in, but we didn't want to plug those in anyway. So I think we'll go for the SATA cable next. So SATA cable in there, pass it through to the back. There we go. And this looks like our SATA bracket here. Yep. Pop that up there for now. We'll pop it here. And then we can plug the SATA data cable in. And we'll plug the SATA power cable in when we get our power supply installed, which I think is going to be our next job. So we've got a bracket for the power supply. Okay, now ready to get our power supply installed, so I'm just going to plug our EPS cable in first of all, because I think it's going to be the tricky one to get plugged in once everything else has been put into the case. So it's going to slide in through here. Well, what I'm going to do is bring it back in from here. Definitely would be easier on a table. See, we'll go through this cutout. Okay, so that's our EPS cable in. We'll pull that through to the back. And then what I'm going to do is pass the rest of the power supply cables through. And then we can slide our power supply in. And then screw it in. So again, I think what I'm going to do is pass all the power supply cables out this cutout at the top, where it looks the most sensible place for them. What we need to do now is bring back in our 24-pin cable and get it plugged in. Get things lined up and push into place, and then we'll pull all the excess cable through to the back. So now we just need to power our SATA drive. So it's going to go in like this. Okay, so SATA drive's got power. And I think this case is a SATA power connector. It does down here. And I think this is just to power the RGB controller. This cable from memory, the power supply cable, the 24-pin, I think I keep it up at the top here. Yeah, we do. There's a cable strap here. There we go, so that's our SATA connectors all powered in. Okay, so I think we're on to GPU. Okay, so we'll take out the top two PCIe slot covers. We'll just keep everything in this box for now. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to disconnect this HD audio cable for now, and I'll get it plugged in a minute once the GPU is into place. So we'll put it through to the back as well. Okay, so we can go ahead and get our GPU lined up. Push, and that's it clipped into place. And we'll grab the thumb screws and get them put back in. So line that up and push into place. And then I'll just pull the excess cable through to the back, and then we'll push them into place. Okay, so that's the build complete. In terms of time-wise, I think it was around about 55 minutes, but that's actually not too bad, I don't think, for building a mini ITX PC out in a boat. In terms of the build, it's definitely not my best work. The cable management could do a little bit of improvement. Actually, I'm just going to show you, there's a seal that's just appeared right behind me. I wonder will he pop up again? Not what I normally get when I'm doing my outro to my videos, but he literally popped up there about 10 meters back from the boat. There he is there, just behind us there. So not normally what you get in a PC building video, a seal. Hopefully I'll show you a few fish later on as well, but he certainly wondered what the hell I'm doing out here, as I think if anybody else was to see me, they'd be thinking the same thing. There he is. So anyway, that's the build up and done. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get things packed up into the boxes, and then I think I might actually go and do a little bit of fishing. Definitely not as nice as what it was when I started off, but I don't get out that often now, so I think we'll go and see, can I show you a few of the fish from around here as well. A slightly better one. There we go, nice cool fish. Another cool fish. A little pellet to go with the cool fish.